Hello guys, well it's another episode of On the Whistle that isn't quite delivered on the whistle, apologies for that, but I'm here to talk about Cardiff City 2, Arsenal 3, an away win, would you believe it? Long overdue. I know we won on the final day against Huddersfield at the end of last season, but that was never really a competitive fixture. This was a bona fide away Premier League win, and it was eventful to say the least. I mean, Arsenal probably deserved it on balance, but Cardiff certainly had plenty of opportunities, and this is a team who hadn't scored a goal going into this game. Well, they managed two against us, which I think tells you a little bit about the fact that we are still kind of all over the place defensively. I'm going to move this because the light's really annoying me. So, where to begin? Well, I suppose begin at the beginning with that terrible Petr Cech error that almost led to the opening goal for Cardiff. We were let off the hook with poor finishing that's dogged them in the first part of the season, saw them blast over the bar. Look, it's difficult with Cech, isn't it? I mean, he's sort of making the best of a bad situation for him. He is never going to be Edison. He is never going to be Alisson. He's never going to be a brilliant dribbler or passer of the ball. In some ways, if Emery knew he wanted to play this way, it's quite funny that we let Ospina go. Maybe it's telling that that's a loan deal. Maybe he's thinking he's someone who could come back in because he is good in that situation. I mean, look, it's a long time ago now, but Szczesny was someone really comfortable with the ball at his feet, sometimes too comfortable, but Cech is not that guy, never will be that guy. And with Bernd Leno sitting on the bench, it does make you wonder if Emery's going to have a big decision to make there, sooner rather than later. Anyway, despite that, we took the lead. Shkodran Mustafi, really good header. Mustafi's such a fascinating player. I mean, like at times, I thought against Cardiff he looked good. You know, he won a lot of headers, won a lot of tackles, interceptions, muscular in the challenge. Brilliant header for the goal, was a real threat in their box, but he just doesn't give you any sense of security at the back. It's still difficult, I think, to judge his partnership with Socrates because I think what's in front of them is such a mess. And that's not to be critical of individuals in the midfield or the attack, but there's just no coherence, no cohesion. Everything Emery's trying to do is about trying to get the team to play more as one. You know, they press from the front and so the back line pushes up. The gap between the central striker and the central defender is shorter, and everyone is operating, defending, playing on the same wavelength. That is not in place yet. So what we're seeing is gaps. We're seeing holes. We're seeing the team exposed. You know, Cardiff exposed us on the break time and time again, despite us having the vast majority of possession. And so it proved. They went to 1-1. Xhaka, of course, gave the ball away. Another big error from Xhaka. I think a lot of people have completely run out of patience with him. I don't think Emery's going to be one of those people. You know, we've seen Xhaka hauled off at half-time and then starting the next game. Whatever it is about this Swiss international, he wants to keep picking him. And I think it's that he's better on the ball, probably than any of our other midfielders. Torreira looks tidy, but Guendouzi, tidy but maybe less imaginative. Xhaka has such range to his passing. I think that's what's keeping him in the team. But if he's going to stay in the team, we need a system that protects him better, that makes up for his flaws more. Maybe Torreira is the solution. I think it's probably time for him to get a start. Anyway, half-time, went in at 1-1. Reclaimed the lead, a fantastic Aubameyang goal. Finally, his first goal of the season. I really was thinking this season he was going to blow everybody away with his goal scoring. He was fantastic second half of last season. I put him in my fantasy football team, so it's probably my fault. Maybe it's some kind of jinx. Well, this was a great way to open his account. From the left-hand side, ball played by Ozil into Lacazette, who was very good on the day. Little flick from him and a wonderful finish from Aubameyang. He's missed much easier chances than that so far this season, but he put it away beautifully. And I hope that's him off and running now. I honestly believe that whether he starts through the middle or on the left, he's always a goal threat. And now that he's got one, I think we might see a few more from him in the coming games. But it came to 2-2. Arsenal didn't take hold of the game in midfield. They tried to bring Torreira on before he could get on. We conceded a half set piece admittedly, it wasn't a foul. And I thought Cardiff executed the set piece well. And then it was 2-2. But credit to this team, they came again. They took the lead for a third time. And what a finish from Lacazette. I was really, really impressed with his performance. You know, he arrived and I thought, this is a guy who's a poacher, but not someone who can contribute to the team. He really contributed to the team on this day. Good hold-up play. He fought. He was physical. You know, it made me think of Sergio Aguero, the way that when Pep Guardiola came in, he told Aguero, look, you're a fantastic goal scorer, but I need you to play a different game in my team. And he rose to that challenge. I feel like Lacazette, over his time in Arsenal, has risen to the challenge of the Premier League. I feel like he's adapted. I think Aubameyang could learn too from the way in which a player who wasn't the most physical when he arrived is now prepared to go into those challenges with the defenders, to use his body. Aubameyang's never going to be that player. And I think that's why Lacazette is such a useful asset to this team. So there we go. 3-2 it was in the end. A valuable 3 points. Having lost those games against City and Chelsea, we cannot afford many drop more points. I know, people looking at the 8 games following that and saying let's get as many as we can. Well, 6 from 6 so far, and there is still room for improvement, certainly. But at least we're doing that now from a winning point. I'll leave it there, guys, and I'll speak to you, well, maybe before the international break, if not after the Newcastle game. Cheers.